And if the emojis you put up are all food related, you might be on a diet that's making you miserable. And if that's the case, you might want to try intermittent fasting. Sure, it sounds hungry, but there's a lot more to it than that. So let's check it out.
It's exploding in the headlines as it's shrinking waistlines. Intermittent fasting is more popular than ever.
The benefits and the research really started all around longevity. And then all of a sudden, people started losing a little bit of weight doing this as well. So now it's become really this sort of hot button when it comes to weight loss.
So we turn to nutritionist Don Jackson Blattner for the facts on this phenomenon.
Intermittent fasting is going periods without eating. Why that's important to your cells is because it's stressful to not eat for your cells, but that stress actually makes them stronger and live longer. So that's where all the benefits come from.
When you go a certain amount of time without food, you're really putting your cells to work.
So when your cells are growing stronger, that means potential benefits for longevity, anti-inflammatory diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even things like weight loss.
It exploded in popularity when people heard the words weight loss. But it hasn't come without some misconceptions.
People do intermittent fasting wrong, I will tell you, a lot of the time. So a lot of people do think intermittent fasting is this quick fix to weight loss, but really it isn't, and it actually can be harmful to some people.
Dawn warns that it's probably not a good idea for people who have struggled with food issues in the past.
The number one mistake that I see people make is that they just think skipping a meal equals intermittent fasting, and that's not true.
It's not just about blowing off breakfast.
Intermittent fasting still means you eat 3 meals, but you are just doing it in a shorter period of time.
Dawn says you've got some options on how to get started and do it right.
There's stuff like alternate day fasting where you eat every other day. There's the 5-2 approach where for 5 days you're eating normally, 2 days you're eating 500 calories or less. There is a preferred style that I like to use and use with my clients. It's called time-restricted eating.
This means that you have periods of eating and periods of not eating.
So for example, it could be a 14-10 style where for 14 hours you're fasting, but for 10 hours you're placing your 3 meals.
And if you think you're ready, Dawn has a place to start.
One of the ways if you want to get started with this is to do the 12-12 method, and that is for 12 hours you're not eating, and for 12 hours you are putting your 3 meals.
If you stop eating at 8 p.m., you'll sleep through most of the fasting anyway. And that's intermittent fasting for all-day results.